There comes a time in life when the mask finally slips, and you see someone for who they truly are. Some wounds happen by accident, but others are delivered with precision, with intent, with no regard for the scars they leave behind. Stay with me, because today we're going to uncover a truth that could change your life forever. When someone hurts you intentionally, it's not just the pain of the act itself that cuts the deepest. It's the realization that they meant for it to happen. They knew exactly what they were doing, their words, their betrayal, their cruelty. It wasn't a mistake. It was calculated, deliberate. They made a choice and they followed through. Sit with that for a moment. Let the weight of that truth settle in. What kind of person makes that choice? And more importantly, what does that truth demand of you? We're often told that forgiveness is the path to peace, that it's noble, healing, necessary. And yes, forgiveness has its place, but there's something they don't tell you, something that could save you from years of unnecessary pain. Forgiveness does not mean allowing someone back into your life to hurt you again. It does not mean lowering your guard for someone who saw your kindness as an opportunity for destruction. Forgiveness is not an open door. It's a closed chapter. You can release the resentment, let go of the weight, and still refuse to grant them access to your life. Because intent matters, not the excuses they made after, not the justifications they whispered to soften the blow. Strip all of that away, and what remains is the truth. They chose to harm you. And what of the wound they left? Did it heal easily? Or does it still throb at unexpected moments when something reminds you of their betrayal? Some damage runs deeper than the surface. It doesn't just bruise the skin, it seeps into the core of who you are. It shakes your ability to trust, makes you question your own judgment. How could I have let this happen? That thought lingers in the quiet moments, whispering doubt into your mind. But here's what you need to understand. That questioning is not a weakness. It's a gift. Because in those moments, you have the opportunity to learn something profound. Their actions were never a reflection of your worth. They were, and always will be, a reflection of who they are. And who are they? Someone who looked at your trust and saw something to exploit. Someone who saw your openness and mistook it for an invitation to take. Someone who saw your kindness and assumed it meant they could get away with anything. When you truly grasp this, you begin to understand why a second chance isn't just misguided, it's dangerous. Would you really place the tools of your destruction back into their hands and say, "Here, try again"? What do you think they would do with them? People who harm with intent rarely change without consequence. They thrive where there is no accountability. They repeat their actions when given the opportunity. So the real question isn't whether they deserve a second chance. The real question is, do you deserve to endure their harm again? If you let yourself admit it, the answer is no. Your heart, your mind, your soul, they are precious. They deserve to be nurtured, protected, surrounded by people who recognize their value. Those who intentionally damage you have already shown you who they are. They do not respect your boundaries. They do not honor your worth. They do not cherish the connection they once had with you. And that is a hard truth to face. It hurts to accept that someone you once trusted, someone you once cared for, could knowingly, willingly choose to harm you. But facing that truth is the first step toward reclaiming your power. Because once you see them clearly, you can no longer pretend. You can no longer make excuses for them or for yourself. And while that clarity may be painful, it is also liberating. This is about freedom. The freedom to walk away, the freedom to say no, the freedom to protect yourself without guilt or hesitation. I know how difficult it is to say no. I know how hard it is to walk away. There is a part of you, the tender, compassionate part, that wants to believe in their redemption, that wants to believe they've changed, that this time will be different. But tell me, how many times must you burn your hand on the same flame before you accept that it will always hurt? The nature of fire does not change, and neither does the nature of someone who harms with intent, unless they decide to change, and that journey is theirs to walk, not yours to facilitate. You are not their savior. You are not their second chance. You are not the canvas upon which they get to paint their redemption. So stop carrying the weight of their actions. Stop doubting your instincts. Stop wondering if you're being too harsh, too unforgiving, too unkind. You are not. You are being wise. You are being strong. You are being exactly what you need to be in order to heal, to grow, to protect the beauty of your own spirit. Value yourself, not just in words, but in action. Let that truth settle deep within you. To truly value yourself is not just an act of defiance against the world, but an act of reverence for your own existence. It means recognizing that your heart, your soul, and your mind are treasures, not to be placed in the hands of those who have already shown they do not deserve them. And yet, how often do we forget this? How often do we hand over the keys to our peace, our joy, our very sanity, to people who have already proven they will destroy them? Not anymore. You owe it to yourself to walk away, not with bitterness, not with anger, but with the quiet understanding that you deserve better. And you always have. Why do we do it? Is it hope? Fear? A misguided belief that their actions were somehow a reflection of us? It wasn't. When someone deliberately hurts you, it is never because you were unworthy of love, kindness, or respect. It's because they either lack the capacity or the will to honor those things in others. They see your value, but instead of cherishing it, they exploit it. Instead of protecting it, they undermine it. Instead of lifting you up, they tear you down. And the cruel irony? The ones who care the most, who feel the deepest, are often the ones who allow it to happen. Why? Because we tell ourselves that maybe, just maybe, if we give them another chance, they will finally see us for who we truly are. Maybe they will change. Maybe this time will be different. But how many times has that hope led only to more pain, more betrayal, more sleepless nights spent replaying their actions, wondering what you did wrong? Let me tell you this. You did nothing wrong. The mistake was never in your kindness, your trust, or your love. The mistake was in believing that they had the capacity to respect what you offered them. So now you must make a choice. Will you keep placing your worth in their hands, hoping they will one day handle it with care? Or will you take it back, piece by piece, until it is yours again, whole, unbroken, untouchable? This is not an easy choice. It never is. Valuing yourself means drawing boundaries. And boundaries come with silence. They come with distance. They come with the painful realization that some people cannot and will not stay in your life if you demand they treat you with respect. But that is their choice, not yours. And their absence, though painful, will never compare to the pain of their continued presence, bringing harm into your life. To value yourself is to say, no more. No more second chances for those who squandered the first. No more explanations for behavior that was never acceptable. No more tolerating what should have been intolerable. Do you feel that resistance inside you? That voice whispering, but they might change. They might mean it this time. That is your hope speaking. And while hope is a beautiful thing, it is not a strategy for survival. Hope does not erase what you already know to be true. People who deliberately hurt you do not do so out of ignorance. They do it because they see an opportunity, and they take it. To value yourself is to remove that opportunity entirely, to close the door, to lock it, not out of spite, but out of love for yourself. Think of what you've endured. Think of the tears you've cried, the energy you've wasted trying to make sense of their actions, the nights you spent questioning yourself instead of questioning them. Think of how it felt to be betrayed, to be disrespected, to be hurt by someone you trusted. Now ask yourself, is this what you deserve? Is this the life you envision for yourself? No. You deserve peace. You deserve safety. You deserve relationships built on mutual respect, not power dynamics where one person takes and the other gives endlessly until there is nothing left. Do you see it now? Do you feel the shift inside you? That spark of defiance, that ember of self-respect reigniting? Let it grow. Let it consume the doubt, the fear, the hesitation. Let it remind you of who you are and what you are worth. You are not here to be used, to be broken, to be a lesson in someone else's journey. You are here to live, to thrive, to surround yourself with people who see your value and honor it. So let them go. Not because you hate them, not because you wish them harm, but because you love yourself too much to stay. Because your peace is worth more than their chaos. Because you are done questioning your worth in the shadow of their actions. And if they return, apologizing, promising, saying all the right things to make you doubt again, remember this moment. Remember what it felt like to reclaim yourself. Remember what it took to get here. And remember that valuing yourself is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice. Choose yourself. Every single time. Pain is a strange teacher, isn't it? It arrives uninvited, unwanted, yet it leaves behind lessons we could never have learned otherwise. We don't seek it, but it finds us, often in the shadows of betrayal, in the echoes of harsh words, in the silence of someone's absence. And when it does, we wrestle with it. We try to understand it. We ask, why me? We see pain as an interruption, an injustice, a punishment. But what if it's something else? What if pain is an opportunity, a chance to grow, to evolve, to emerge from the fire, not burned but refined? Think about it. Every time you've been hurt, every time you've been broken, you've also been given a choice. A choice to let that pain define you, or a choice to let it teach you, to let it transform you into something stronger, wiser, greater. It's not easy. Growth never is. Growth is uncomfortable. It's messy. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you'd rather ignore, the fear, the anger, the doubt. But in that confrontation, something extraordinary happens. You learn. You learn about yourself, about your strength, about what truly matters to you. You learn who you can trust, and perhaps more importantly, who you can't. You learn that even in your darkest moments, there is a light within you that cannot be extinguished. And that light, it is resilient, unyielding, defiant. It is the part of you that refuses to be defeated, no matter how many times you fall. It is the part of you that rises, because it knows this truth. Every fall is not an end. It is a beginning. Pain has a way of stripping everything down to its core. It forces you to see life without filters, without illusions, just raw, unfiltered truth. In those moments, you begin to ask yourself, what do I truly want? Who do I truly want to be? And those questions, they aren't just fleeting thoughts. They are the start of something bigger, something transformative. Transformation isn't just about surviving pain. It's about using it. It's about taking the very thing that tried to break you and turning it into something powerful, something that pushes you forward. Think about it. The strongest steel is shaped in fire, and the most breathtaking art often comes from deep sorrow. You are no different. Every scar, every wound, it's not a mark of weakness. It's proof that you have faced the worst and emerged on the other side. But survival alone isn't enough, is it? Just existing after pain is not the same as thriving because of it. Thriving requires something more. It means looking back at your pain and asking, what did it teach me? Did it show you that you deserve better, that you are stronger than you ever believed, that you have endured more than you thought possible? Did it reveal the cracks in your life, the toxic relationships, the unfulfilled dreams, the doubts that kept you small? The answers have always been there, waiting for you to see them. And once you do, you can't unsee them. You can't return to who you were before the pain. But why would you want to? The person you are now, the person you are becoming, is wiser, braver, more aware. That person has the potential to live a life that is not just bigger, but deeper, richer, and more meaningful. So take your pain, hold it, study it, understand it, and then let it fuel you. Let it remind you of your resilience, your courage, your ability to rise. Let it push you to create the life you deserve, the life you've dreamed of but maybe never believed you could have, because you can. Every tear, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt has led you here, to this exact moment. The moment where you decide that pain will not define you, it will refine you. This is where you turn your wounds into wisdom, your scars into strength, your past into power. And in doing so, you'll find something unexpected, freedom. Freedom from the weight of what hurt you. Freedom from the anger, the bitterness, the regret. The freedom to live, not as a victim of pain, but as the author of your story. Trust is fragile, isn't it? It's delicate, woven from hope, belief, and vulnerability. It connects us, binds our hearts to others. But when it shatters, it doesn't just break, it leaves a hollow space, a sharp and aching emptiness that seems impossible to fill. The betrayal isn't just about lies or deception. It's about the weight of what was held and then discarded. Your trust, given freely, maybe too freely, was taken for granted. And that choice, that decision to disregard something so sacred, is what wounds the most. And so the questions come. Could I have seen it coming? Was it something I did? Should I have known better? These thoughts press against your chest, making every breath feel heavier. making doubt feel like a constant presence. But listen carefully, this part is important. Their betrayal was not your failure. It was never a reflection of your worth or your wisdom. It was their choice. A choice born of their flaws, their insecurities, their inability to honor what was given. Yet here you are, standing in the aftermath, staring at the broken remains of what once was. What do you do now? Do you gather the pieces, hand them back, and hope that this time will be different? No, you cannot. Because trust, once broken, is never easily mended. It takes time, sometimes more than we want to give. Even when repaired, the cracks remain. And here's the truth that's hardest to accept. Not everyone who breaks your trust deserves the chance to hold it again. Think about it. Replay the moments of betrayal, not to dwell, but to understand. Was it a mistake, a moment of carelessness, or was it a pattern, a habit, a way of being? The difference matters. Their intention, their repetition, their lack of remorse, it all matters because it tells you who they are. And knowing that gives you the power to decide who you will be in response. So who will you be? The one who bends. The one who keeps giving, keeps hoping, keeps handing trust over like a gift they can squander again and again? Or will you be the one who says enough? The one who protects their heart, their peace, their soul? This is not about bitterness. It's about wisdom. It's about understanding that trust is precious, and precious things must be guarded. Not locked away so no one can reach them, but given carefully, intentionally, to those who deserve them. Let me be clear, it is not cruelty to withhold trust from someone who has broken it. It is self-respect. It is recognizing that you are not a fool to be played, nor a well to be drained without return. And that understanding, that choice, is what will set you free. Know your worth, not just in words, but in how you carry yourself, in the choices you make, in what you allow and what you refuse to accept. Your worth isn't just something to acknowledge, it's something to protect. Not as a barrier that keeps everyone out, but as a shield that stops the wrong ones from getting in. The ones who take and take, who leave behind nothing but regret, who return with empty promises and words that sound sincere but mean nothing. Because words are easy, actions are truth. So when they come back, and they often do, don't just listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Have they changed? Have they done the work, the real work, to earn back what they lost? If not, then you already know the answer. And yes, walking away will hurt. It always does. Saying no, closing a door you once held open so willingly, it feels like loss. But in truth, it's freedom. A declaration that your heart, your trust, your life is not something to be mishandled. You owe it to yourself, to the person you are now and the person you are becoming, to be careful with your trust, to give it only to those who prove they are worthy of it, not just to those who ask for it. Because trust is not a simple thing. It is a gift, rare and precious, and not everyone deserves to hold it. Forgiveness. A word heavy with meaning, filled with both hope and hesitation. People talk about it like it's the key to peace, like it's a virtue you should just embrace. Forgive, they say, and you will heal. But they never talk about what it takes, the courage required to stand in front of the wreckage someone else created and say, I forgive. It doesn't feel like strength, does it? At first, it feels like surrender, like letting them off the hook. But forgiveness isn't about excusing them. It's not about pretending their actions didn't leave wounds. It's about something much deeper, something far more powerful, because you've been carrying it, haven't you? The weight of what they did, the anger, the hurt, the resentment that lingers like a shadow, pressing against your chest, making every step heavier than it should be. For days, months, maybe even years, it's been there, whispering reminders of what was lost, feeding on your pain, until one day you realize this burden isn't something they left you with, it's something you continue to carry. And that is the moment forgiveness starts to make sense. Not as a gift to them, but as a release for yourself. Because forgiveness doesn't erase the past, it doesn't rewrite history. The memories remain, etched into who you are, shaping how you see the world. But forgiveness takes back control. It strips those memories of their power. It allows you to say, yes, this happened. Yes, it hurt. But I will not let it define me. I will not let it hold me prisoner. That is strength. That is courage. The ability to let go, not for them, but for you. And what of revenge? That tempting promise of justice, of making them feel even a fraction of what they put you through. It whispers that it will bring satisfaction, closure, but it never does. It only chains you to the past, keeping you bound to the very thing you're trying to escape. Revenge keeps you locked in the pain, while forgiveness, the true kind, sets you free. But let's be clear, forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It does not mean welcoming them back into your life. Some wounds cut too deep for that. Some betrayals are too great. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. It is about choosing peace, even when they don't deserve it. And it's a process, not a single act. Some days you'll feel lighter, as if you finally let go. Other days, the pain will resurface, fresh and sharp, like it never left. That's okay. That's part of healing. Be patient with yourself. Feel it, acknowledge it, and then let it pass. Each time you do, its hold on you weakens. Each time you grow a little stronger. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is a declaration that your happiness, your peace, your future matters more than the pain someone else caused. It is a choice to let go, to move forward, to no longer be bound by what they did. And when you finally let go, truly let go, something incredible happens. You find freedom. Freedom from the weight of what hurt you. Freedom to feel joy again, to trust again, to live fully, without the past casting its shadow over you. It won't be easy. It never is. But it will be worth it. Because in the end, forgiveness is not about them. It's about reclaiming yourself. At first, it feels impossible. The pain is everywhere. Too big, too heavy, too consuming. It takes over every thought, every breath, every second of your day. You can't picture a future where it doesn't hurt this much, where you don't feel like a piece of you has been lost, shattered beyond repair. But then another day comes, and another. Somehow, even when it doesn't seem possible, you keep moving. Maybe it's slow, painfully slow. Maybe it doesn't even feel like progress. But every breath you take, every small step forward, is proof of something powerful. Your strength, your resilience, your refusal to let the pain win. And yet, there are moments when it all crashes down again, when the weight of it threatens to pull you under. You wonder if you'll ever feel whole again, if the ache will ever ease. These are the moments that test you, that push you to your limits. But these are also the moments that shape you. Because healing isn't about forgetting. It's not about pretending the pain never existed or trying to erase the scars it left behind. Healing is about learning to carry those scars with pride. They are proof, not of weakness, but of survival. Proof of your courage, of your ability to endure, to keep going, to keep hoping, even when everything in you wants to give up. And then slowly, so slowly, you begin to notice the pain shifting. It never fully disappears, but it softens. It becomes part of you, woven into who you are, but no longer defining you. You learn to live with it, to carry it without letting it control you. There will be setbacks, days when the pain resurfaces, sharp and sudden, like a reopened wound. But those moments are not failures. They don't mean you've gone backward. They are reminders that healing isn't a straight path. It's a journey, not a destination. So be kind to yourself. When the pain comes, don't push it away or bury it deep inside. Let yourself feel it fully. Let yourself be angry, be sad, be frustrated. Let it wash over you, and then let it pass. Because it will pass. Pain moves like waves, rolling in and out. Some waves will hit harder than others, but with each one you get stronger. You learn how to stand steady, how to keep your balance even in the storm. And somewhere along the way you'll start to notice things. Small things. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter, the kindness of a stranger. Little moments that remind you that there is still beauty in the world, still joy to be found. Hold on to them. Let them remind you why you keep going, why you keep fighting, because there is a life waiting for you beyond this pain. A life full of possibility, of love, of wonder. But getting there takes time. It takes patience, and more than anything, it takes courage. Courage to face the pain instead of running from it. Courage to confront the memories you've been avoiding. Courage to feel everything instead of numbing yourself to it. Because healing doesn't happen in the absence of pain. It happens through it. And yes, it's terrifying. Letting go of the anger, the resentment, the walls you've built to protect yourself. It feels like stepping into the unknown, unguarded, exposed. But it's only by letting go that you can truly move forward. Healing doesn't mean going back to who you were before. That person doesn't exist anymore. And that's okay, because healing is about becoming someone new, someone stronger, someone wiser. It's about taking the broken pieces and creating something new, something meaningful, something uniquely yours. And as you heal, something shifts. The pain no longer holds power over you. It no longer defines you. It becomes a part of your story, but not the whole story. Because you are more than your pain, more than your scars. You are a survivor, a warrior, a testament to the unbreakable strength of the human spirit. And that is something no one can ever take away from you.